Hi, my name is April, and today I will be showing you how I would integrate sentence stems into exploring basic addition and subtraction skills for first grade math ESL students. Materials needed in this lesson are addition and subtraction sentence framed cards, along with an anchor chart posters in English and Spanish, number charts 1 to 20 with words and amounts. The content objective for this lesson will be students will be able to create and solve problem situations when given an equation involving subtraction and addition by writing sentences and drawing pictures to represent the problems. The TEKS for this lesson will be Math First Grade 3F, focusing on number and operations. F specifies that students will generate and solve problem situations when given a number sentence involving addition or subtraction of numbers within 20. The language objectives for this lesson will be students will be able to write using basic and content-based grade level vocabulary, such as adding, subtracting, and equal to create and solve situations representing equations. The ELPs for this lesson will be Learning Strategies 1E, which involves internalizing new basic and academic language by using and reusing it in meaningful ways, and speaking and writing activities that build concept and language attainment. The Writing 5B also involves writing using newly acquired basic vocabulary and content-based grade level vocabulary. The ESL method for this lesson will be sentence stems. The purpose for this is to support English learners in developing problem-solving skills and adding and subtracting. This is appropriate for intermediate level students because students can understand and express themselves in written and spoken English in short sentences featuring simple, frequently used English words. The language function and demands for this lesson are create and solve because students will be creating their own word problems and solving them using an equation and a picture. The language demands for this lesson are vocabulary and written communication. Students will have to reference vocabulary such as subtraction, addition, equal to, in order to communicate a word problem and represent a situation. The scaffolds included in this lesson are visual model cards, reference sheets, drawing pictures, and sentence stems. A visual cue that will be available for students during the activity is a Spanish reference of a key skill like subtracting. Other cards that provide a variety of examples of subtracting and adding in Spanish and English will be posted to help integrate first language. This will support second language acquisition and vocabulary development. The other visuals available for students are reference sheets for numbers 1 through 20 that include written and visual models of the numbers to reinforce number sense. This will help students focus on problem solving and creating the word problems. The activity will have a variety of these sentence stem cards. You can see that one has addition and one has subtraction, and there are plenty more. Students will be expected to complete these independently following a model from the teacher. I will show you how I would model this for my class and give directions to have them complete it by themselves. Moving on to the activity. So if I was introducing this to my class, I would first show them a model and then have them complete it on their own. First, we show them an example of the sentence stem. Blank eats blank cookies. Then blank eats blank more cookies. How many cookies did blank eat? Then we would answer the question, how many cookies total did the person eat? Then we would write our equation and draw a picture. Let's do an example. Chris eats 5 cookies. Then Chris eats 3 more cookies. How many cookies did Chris eat? Well, the answer to this question is 8. But how did I get there? So if Chris, and we could pick any name, I would probably pick a name from somebody in the class. So Chris eats blank cookies. I would also have a volunteer tell me how many cookies we would like Chris to eat. This is our first starting amount, which we can see in the first part of the picture where there are only 5 cookies. Then Chris eats 3 more cookies. Well, to decide how many more cookies Chris should eat, I would ask the class, well, if I'm eating more cookies, am I adding or subtracting? I would then expect the class to respond and for volunteers to raise their hands. After having volunteers respond, I would then ask them what number of cookies we should add to Chris's first amount of 5. Then we would fill in Chris's name again, and the total amount of cookies he would eat would be his starting amount, which was 5, and his ending amount, which is 3. So Chris ate 8 total cookies. Then we would write an equation to represent how many cookies Chris ate in total. The first amount we would put is 5. Then the second amount is 3. We put this because Chris started with eating 5 cookies and then he ate 3 more cookies. So we're adding these numbers together. This is going to equal 8 cookies because in total, Chris ate 8 cookies. Then we would expect the students to draw a picture. My picture involves 5 cookies plus 3 cookies equals 8 cookies. This represents how many total cookies Chris ate, because again, he started with 5 cookies and then he ate 3 more cookies. So to represent 3 more cookies, we would do addition sign, which is plus 3 more cookies. Then an equal sign to represent equal to, which is 8 cookies in total. Another way we could scaffold this for our students, if they're having difficulty understanding where to fill in the information, is showing them a color-coded version. You can see that all the names are highlighted in yellow because this is where the name should be put every single time. And then to know how many cookies and where that corresponds for the equation in the picture, you would highlight in pink. To show how many more cookies and then also what we're adding to the initial amount and how many cookies should be drawn at the bottom, we highlight in blue. And then, of course, the total amount is highlighted in red to show how many total cookies the students or that Chris would eat. This strategy is best to incorporate because sentence stems and visual references can help English bilingual students and English learner students become more proficient in written communication while supporting their development in math literacy and basic subtraction and addition skills. These are my resources that I use along with the materials used as well and the links to them. Thank you and thanks for watching.